So, Elise, why don't you tell me what you know about GarageBand?
Well, I pretty much know most things about it. I know you can record your voice on it. You can change the pitch, audio, the depth of your voice. You can do different types of keyboard sounds,
Mm-hmm.
different drums, different guitars, like acoustic and electric. Pretty much a lot of things. You can make beats with what kind of patterns they have.
Okay. So now do you know how to make your own beats?
Yes.
Okay. Are you both on laptops or are you guys on like your phones and stuff?
On my iPad.
I know how to work mobile really well. I'm on my laptop.
Okay, good. All right. So Zach, why don't you pull up your so you're comfortable with your iPad GarageBand?
Yeah.
Okay, both of you are.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys both have mobile laptop versions of GarageBand?
No.
No. Okay. And do you, Zach?
Yes, I am on it right now.
Is that more what you're concerned about learning?
Yes, I know the basics of mobile GarageBand.
Okay. All right. This could be slightly problematic. Oh, looks like they just jumped, like they dove in and out. This could be slightly problematic since I'd have to be working with two different systems here. I made a bunch of really good cheat sheets for GarageBand, Zach, that I have here, that I got a bunch of cheats for you to use. But let me just kind of, so how do we want to handle this? All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to just break down. Now, Zach, do you know how to create multiple sections of GarageBand songs?
I do.
Okay. What about you, Elise?
Yes.
Okay. Well, all right. I'm thinking maybe we should divide this into two different, like 20-minute sessions or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are more than welcome to hang out, but I kind of feel like if I work on the laptop, then Elise isn't going to get anything. But if I work on the iPad, you're not really going to get much. So any thoughts? You guys have any thoughts about this?
I mean, that works with me.
Okay. All right. I'll tell you what. I'm going to focus on the iPad first for a little while. All right. And we're just going to go over a couple things that you may or may not know. And we'll go from there. All right. So, Elise, can you play me something that you? I'm sorry. What's that again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably. I don't know.
Can you play me something on GarageBand that you've done?
I don't really have songs that I've made. I kind of just go on there and kind of just spam things.
Okay. What about you, Zach? Can you play me something?
I don't have my GarageBand on me right now.
Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take a song that I did and we're just going to break it down a little bit. All right. And just kind of go through some of the options that I've used. And I'm going to kind of start from scratch, but I'll go fast. And if you guys are like, I know all this, I'm bored, just tell me. But chances are there's going to be stuff that you probably aren't doing properly or not efficiently enough that we can, you can glean a few new ideas and new approaches. So let's do it. Let's see here. So here is can we all see that? Oh, hold on. I just lost it. Okay. So let me get both you guys on here. Zach's got the good hippie tapestry in the background.
I also have this. 1 second. Let me get those going.
Oh, nice.
There we go.
There we go. All right. So this actually, what I'm going to play for you first, just because it's the first thing that pulled up, is something that I did with one of my students. I was explaining to her how you can write on the black keys on the piano and all the notes sound good. And we came up with this little ditty. cute, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very beautiful. All right. So you'll notice I don't know how much editing you guys do and all this and that. Zach, at some point during this thing, I'm going to send you over my cheat sheet list. It's not typed up, but it'll be good for you to have. Because originally I thought I was going to do all this on laptops. And I was like, oh no, everyone's going to use their mobile. So, and then of course, Zach, if you have any questions after this clinic, I'm more than happy to meet up again. We can do another meeting or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you'll notice there's lots of different edits going on in this guy. And one of the things that I like to do as I develop stuff is like, I'll go in by doing a double click, and now I have this edit window. Are you guys all familiar with this window?
I only discovered it like 2 months ago, and I was so mad when I discovered it because I hadn't been using it. I'd been like, whenever I made a small mistake, I'd like redo the whole track.
Right, exactly. So this feature is great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add, let's just listen again real quick. Okay, so right at bar 5, I'm going to add a crash symbol. And the way I do that is I double click, right here. And we get this little window here. I'm going into edit. Now, you can swap out different drum sounds and all that. We'll talk about that later. So whatever kit you have, you don't have to be married to that kit's sound. You can switch them out and stuff like that. We'll talk about that later. But for now, that's not great sounding. All right, that's going to have to do, though. All right, so what I do is I take this little guy right here, and I'm going to slide him over. So now I have a pencil, and I'm just going to go boom, right? That's it, and now I'm done with that. Okay, do we all understand how that worked?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's take a listen back. Now that would be great if that was like a nice big delay sound. We can discuss how to get some of that stuff later. Now you'll notice that did not copy over to the other tracks. All right, which is kind of a bummer. Depending upon when you're in Logic, are you familiar with Logic, Elise?
Not really.
Okay, so what I would suggest is, Elise, do you have a Mac at home, like a laptop or a desktop?
I have a Chromebook.
Okay, so you have a Chromebook. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, eventually, I don't know if you can get GarageBand for that. But Zach, since you have GarageBand, eventually you're going to want to get Logic as you get better with GarageBand, because it grows you right into Logic, which is quickly, if not already, has become like the main program that everybody uses, like all the pros. Now, Pro Tools has been around forever, and people use that stuff all the time. But long story short, that they're just making it more and more difficult for the average person to use, because they want you to pay $300 a month, and I'm like, I don't make $300 a month on recording, so it doesn't really make any sense. So either way, I added this. I'm going to go back in. I'm going to add another crash real quick, okay? So I'm going to go to the beginning of the song. I'm going to go to bar 1, and I'm going to add a crash. Hold on, let me just, yeah. I'm going to add a crash right there again. And then I'm also going to add it at the end of, we had our change at 5. And then musically, it just makes sense to have one at bar 7 as well. So I'm just going to add one right there. Okay. So now I have 3 crashes. And let me just see real quick if I can look at that kit real quick. So let's see. Let me see something. Okay, so I wasn't able to add the crash there, but if I'm pretty sure, if I go like this, I can. Yeah, so watch this. Ready? This is really sweet. So by doing this little slide over right here on your, do we all know where this thing is? You know what? I'll talk about that later. I'll come back to that. All right, so now I got that crash on everything. So what I'd want to do, if I want it on everything, then I would just erase these. And I'm going to do that by going like that. We're going to delete it. Delete this one. Delete this one. And then I'm just going to pull this thing out as a loop. Now, that way that crash will be there every time. Now, you guys understand how loops work, I guess?
Yeah.
I figured as much. But just so you can see, there's little divot points, and you'll see that it's grayed out right there. That's where your loop starts and starts over again. All right, so anyway, so there's that piece. So let me pull out of there, and I'm going to show you this one. This is something I actually had like a dream. I was like sleeping, and I woke up with this chord progression, and it was like really jazzy and kind of cool, and it does a lot of neat things. And it kind of reminds me of like, I know you guys may not be into it, but it kind of reminds me of like Bruno Mars and Justin Timberlake. So whether you like them or not, they're pretty huge stars, and I like both those guys' music for the most part. So this is something I put together using all GarageBand sounds, no nothing. And you'll notice at one point I get a little bored and I stop working on it. I'm like, all right, I'm done with this. But either way, check it out. About to go into a whole other thing, but then I got bored. In hindsight, I probably should have doubled the strings and octaves and stuff like that for a fuller sound. But let's just kind of break down a little bit what's going on here.
That bass was cool.
Yeah, the bass is cool, right? Yeah, I like it too. Thanks. And that I used light cycle bass for that. So right there, basically, one of the things that I wanted to do musically was I do what is known as a pedal point. Elise, what's a pedal point?
Don't know. Hee hee.
Okay, Zach, what's a pedal point?
I will tell you exactly.
Okay.
Pedal point is. It is a sustained tone, typically in the bass, during which at least one harmony is sounded in the other parts.
Exactly. So that was great, man. Where'd you learn that at?
Nowhere.
Okay, so check this out. Ready? Can you guys hear my piano?
Yeah.
So an example of a pedal point is where you pretty much play one note or an ostinato, which is a repeating rhythmic pattern, okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play a D chord, a D in the bass. Oh, oh man, this would be so awesome. I'm starting to work it out where I've got like my piano camera and then my face and my big fat head and all this stuff and everything's good. But I haven't gotten to iPad, piano, and that. So next time. Anyway, so I'm playing a D in the bottom there. And then I'm playing a D chord in my right hand. So basically what's happening is you're switching the harmony above the bass notes. And that's what's happening right here. You'll hear that the bass note stays essentially on one pitch, but the chords change. It's just a cool little technique that kind of is used.
Oh my God.
Did you swallow a bug?
Oh, I almost swallowed a bug. He felt like he was on the roof and he fell like right there.
Yeah.
It's a giant freaking millipede.
Yo.
Swallow it whole. Yeah.
I love that this is my job. You know? I'm just like sitting here chilling out with two cool kids. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit about each part here. So the piano here, I had, wait. Nice little jazzy part, nothing to it, nothing too fancy. Actually, it is kind of fancy. Who am I kidding? Got the retro box for drums. Pretty standard beat. Pick the sound I liked. You know, as it developed, I wrote in a little classic build. Woo, it's exciting. Right? Now here, check this out. I put the same exact drum beat with a regular drum kit. Oh, sugar plums, hold on. Right? So now when I combine the two, so if I just listen to the beat itself, this is a great technique to use with all this MIDI stuff. So Elise, what's MIDI?
Don't know.
Zach, what is MIDI?
MIDI is like, you can take like, say you have a MIDI controller piano.
Uh-huh.
Take that and throw it into, plug it into the computer.
Uh-huh.
And you play notes on the MIDI controller. It'll go to the computer, and then later you can change it up on the computer.
This is correct.
It's not actually playing sound, but it's registering the notes instead.
Yes, it stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface. Very fancy. And basically what it does is you play and it records it into binary code, which then you can move around. So for example, I've got this drum beat here. Sounds fat. So what I did was I copied that drum beat and put it into another sound. Right? So now when I combine the two, sounds extra fat, you know? Now let me just see if I can do something real quick. No, I'm not gonna do that. I don't like that. That scares me.
Yes.
Hold on. No. There we go. Okay. So, combining drum tones like that is a great way to make your stuff sound fat. And now I noticed that I think this drum sounds a little dark. Okay. So what I do is I go up here into my EQ section. And now I have all these options. I've got the volume of the track pan, compressor, bass, master effects, etc. So I think, like, for example, panning. What does panning do, Elise?
I don't know.
Okay, check it out. Panning puts the sound left and right. So you have headphones on, or can you hear that difference, or is it just because you're on the phone you can't tell?
It's Zoom. When Zoom does audio from the screen share, it just kills all the panning that you would have done anyways.
That makes me sad.
Yeah.
Because I hear everything all panned out and pretty over here. All right, well, either way, it pushes the sound left and right. All right, and you're going to see that usually drums don't want to do that, but you'll see in later stuff how that's useful. All right, so once again, here's this warm kind of drum. So I'm going to put some compression on it to blow it up a little. Doesn't seem like it's doing too much. Wait, that's because I'm on the wrong one. Hold on. Let me get out of there for a second. Ah! Okay, there we go. So I'm on Classic Studio Kit. I love it when I'm like, things don't sound right, and then I realize that it's my own stupidity. Okay, so Classic Studio Kit. So by cranking up the compressor, you can see how it's like a little fuller sounding. Do this without. Now, you can definitely overdo compressor and do bad things with it. You can really distort it and make it sound awesome and cool, but sometimes you distort it and it sounds awful and terrible. So let's just put it about there. And now let's listen to those two together. Without the compressor. Cool. Now I'm going to add a little bit of treble to this main track, just to give it a little bit of boost. Just so it cuts a little bit more. Because when it's down here, it sounds a little... So right away, that's going to start cleaning up my mix as I record. And then, of course, you can do stuff like put reverb on it. Put some echo. And you can adjust different levels. You can adjust different levels of all your instruments like that. We got extra master effects, you know, different styles of reverb, different types of echo. So, for example, remember earlier I was like, yeah, that one drum, I really wish it would sustain longer. What I'd do is I'd put a pound of reverb on it, and which I'll show you in a few minutes with another beat. So anyway, so you can get into all those kinds of things. Then we got the bass line. And once again, if I wanted to edit, okay. Once again, if I wanted to edit that, Elise, how would I get into editing that?
You press on the, whatever it's called, the section.
Yeah, the segment, the audio region. Yeah. And then you go in there and you just do whatever you need to do. Now, sometimes when you play, let me just, you know what, let me open up a new track because already we're running out of time. Okay. So let's see, I'm going to go new track. Let's go tracks. Let's start with the drums. My favorite drum to start with is Beat Sequencer because it's like really easy to work. You can pick all your drum sounds. What kind of drum sound do we want to use?
The cool ones.
A cool one. Okay. Well, I like the electronic ones. Let's see what this sounds like. Should we go with that one?
Yeah.
Or how about let's go with Jagged Edges. I like Jagged Edges.
For some reason, I feel like you could throw like through the fire and the flames onto this, and it would work really well.
Say it again.
For some reason, I feel like you could throw through the fire and the flames onto that, and it would still work really well.
Yeah, right? That's a hard song to play.
Yeah, that's not easy.
No, it's not easy. All right, so let's get a clean beat here. Wait, all right, no, let's do that. You know what? I don't like this one. It's being stupid to me. Hold on. Let me just I'll go with minimalist. Why don't I not have any drums? Something's acting silly. Hold on. Let me get out of here for a second. All right. So there's my basic grid. Now, what do these four things stand for right here? Rhythmically, musically.
Beats?
Yes, they are. What kind of beats?
Quarter.
16.
Wait, those are 16ths?
Yeah, because look, every one beat, one, right? So that's why you have, right. So now check this out. Wait for it. Watch this. If I want to go and I want to work on, say, a triplet type of grid where there's only like, so there's, you know, instead of 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and and I wanted to, so all right, so actually, hold on. So very quick beat, no problem. Boom, boom. And then I'm going to go that. So I have eighth notes right here. I've got kick on 4 on the floor, and I got snare on 2 and 4, which is very common. So let's listen to that. Okay, that's so slow, it's killing me. All right, so where do I go to switch the tempo?
In the top where you see the little settings thing, the gear.
Yes. So let's just ramp that up a little bit. Yeah, so at least this might be some stuff that like you and I could talk about later if you want, how all this stuff works. How all like, because this is how you get your songs all set up.
Yeah.
Yes, it's fun. So now, here we go. Boom. Classic house beat. Everything sounds good because it just works. But let me get rid of those.
Highlight everything.
Yeah, I know. Well, like sometimes I go like this and just kind of like see what it sounds like.
Finally getting down not good. Congratulations.
Chaotic.
I know, it's crazy. It's fun. You can draw little patterns. You can draw like you know, draw Mickey Mouse in there or something and see what it looks like. You know what I mean? And see what Mickey Mouse sounds like in grid mode. Anyway, so classic drum beat stuff, 4 on the floor, snare on 2 and 4, hi-hat eighth notes. I like to open up the hi-hat on the last beat. Now check this out. There's another cool mode in here. If we look down here, velocity. What velocity stands for how loud you go, how loud each note is. So you can switch the note levels. See what I'm saying?
Neat.
Yeah, that's useful. Not necessary, but useful. Note repeat. This is my new favorite. Ready? I'm going to take this final hi-hat right here. I'm going to take these two hi-hats, and let's listen to them right now. Nothing special. Now I'm going to take them, and I'm going to go into here. I'm going to press into here, into note repeat. I'm going to raise it up, and now it's become 8 notes. Now I'm going to go into this one, and I'm going to turn it into 4 notes. Just kind of slide my finger up until it sounds like something, all right? Actually, let's make it 3 notes. Yeah. All right. So now listen to what happened by using note repeat.
Ooh. I did not know that existed.
Say that again?
I did not know that existed, but I'm happy that I do now.
Yeah, it's cool, right? Yeah, you just kind of move it up a little bit. Let's hear that again.
I'm paranoid about that millipede.
So, and I can do that on any instrument. Let's make the snare go nuts.
You've just achieved frequency with your snare.
Say that again?
You've just achieved a frequency with your snare.
Exactly, yeah. So that's how they get all those dubstep glitchy effects and all that kind of cool modern production. They speed up. So like you can write that out as like a real musician and be like, let's go to sextuplets, let's go to 30-second notes. You can do all that. But most people don't really work that way in here because that's not how it's designed to work. You go into note repeat, you got yourself a party.
Yay!
Yay! All right, so now let's say, I'm now gonna get rid of all this. I'm going back to step mode. That's where you can get stuff, all right? So now, let's say I wanna write a song that has a different feel to it. Like instead of 4, I want like more like a 3, you know, like a 3 feel. Anyway, check it out. What I can do is I go into here again, all right? And now I click on a drum. Come on, behave. Oh, I'm already in it, okay. So now I'm going to switch the step length to 8th note triplet. All right, and I'm gonna do the same to the snare. And most importantly, I'm gonna do that to the hi-hats. And the way I'm getting there, just to clarify, is I'm using this little sidebar right here. Let's see what happens if I just, you don't even have to use a little sidebar. You can just click right on the drum that you want to do, all right? So I switched that, so now, let me just hear what it sounds like. Oh, I gotta switch them all out. Hold on. I think that's what the problem is. Okay, so maybe that didn't work like I hoped. But there's something in there where you can start to switch your grid modes to make all that stuff. Oh, wait, maybe this is the problem. Come on, fix it. Let's go. Let's see. Yeah. No, it didn't, because they're still leaving on this extra 1. I don't know why. But either way, that's something to start looking into for fun. So let's go back to normal for a second. And I want to show you how to get into, let's see. Okay, everything back to normal. I could probably just open it back up, but whatever. Okay. So now I'm gonna quick make a beat again. Boom, 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 boom. Bop, 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 bop. And we're gonna have a little more fun with this one. Add a couple random ones. Let's get some note repeat in there. Cha-cha. That's gonna go. We're gonna do a note. We're gonna actually do that to normal. Then we're gonna take this one. We're gonna make it fast, but now we're gonna mess with the velocity so it's not too loud. And let's hear what that sounds like. Now, if I'm not happy with the tone, I should be able to go like this and move it to like another thing. Like, so, like, for example, there's no crash in this kit, right? So I'm going to turn these sticks here into a crash. Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's kind of where I start constructing a song is in Beatmaker. And then of course you can go down into here and let's go percussion. Like I like this kit a lot. I like the taiko drums because they sound cool.
Sound like be played on.
What'd you say?
That note repeat doesn't sound like something that's supposed to be played on these.
No, I agree. So let's take those out. I am with you 100% on that. Let's take a listen. Sounds kind of cool. I also like the Chinese kit.
That one's good.
But I'd probably get rid of some of those sounds. I think it's that. It's either that one or this one. Hold on.
Oh, I have 4% I have 4% left. Let's see if 4% can last 4 minutes.
Let's see if 4% can last 4 minutes. Either way, so those are some things you can do. So let's record. I'm just going to record this crazy drum beat with a regular sound for a second. Big room. Done. I'm jumping up here. Make sure you're at the beginning of your track. That screws people up a lot. Press record. Okay, so now we go back to here by putting that thing, and there is our big room drum.
Yay.
Yay! So now what I'm going to...
I'll be right back.
No problem, bro. So then what I'm going to do is I'll copy it.
Yay.
All right, now I'm going to move up to this track, make sure that I'm still at the beginning, and I go hit this again. Now I got to press paste. Why does that never work? Hold on. That never wants to work the way it's supposed to. Let me see. Okay,
Press
there we go.
on.
Right.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hold on. I think I just lost my audio for a second. Okay, looks like Zach left anyway. All right. So now check it out. So I pasted that over. So now I have two of the exact same thing. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the drum sound to those taiko drums. So now we should have 2 different drum kits playing the same beat. So that's how you do all that. Does all that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Now, what beat does the snare, for a typical rock song or a pop song or whatever, what beats did the snare drum go on?
I don't know anything about drums.
Okay, well that's very important. They go on, wait, I looked at the wrong one. This is important. They go on beat 2, because here's 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4. So the snare goes on 2 and 4. All right. The kick drum goes on 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't worry about these numbers up here. Those are measure numbers. This is just one full beat. Beat 1, beat 2. You can see there's a space there. Beat 3, a space. Beat 4, there's a space. So you get boom, 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 right? If you start with this, okay, you are going to be able to, hold on a second. Yeah, if you this as your basic idea, you're going to be able to get yourself drum beats, okay?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then if you want to add one here,
Okay.
let's take a look at that real quick. Let me just solo this real quick. Hold on. I'm going to solo this. So now. Oh, right. Okay. That's not going to work right now. Oh, I know why. Hold on. I see what I did.
Ooh.
Sorry. So a classic drum, more of a rock beat, has it on 1 and 3. That's kind of like your classic rock beat, as opposed to, so it's beat 1 and 3, beat 2 and 4. Now your classic funk disco beat is this. That's the only difference.
Oh. Okay.
Ah! Okay. And then if you want to get a little fancier, and you'll notice these are on every other one, eighth notes. 1 and 1 E and 2 E and etc. etc. And once if you can make that beat, you can do anything. Watch this. Ready? I threw in this. I threw that in right there. Take a listen. I keep doing that. There must be a note repeat on that. Hold on. Right? And then, let's say, let me add another kick. But it all starts with this.
Yay.
Okay, so you should take a picture of that and try to mimic that, okay?
All right, I'm going to take a screenshot. Yay, it did it.
All right, I got to go give my next lesson. Do you have any questions?
Nope.
All right, well, join in next week. I'll show you some more cool stuff. Yay! Have fun. Yay. I'll see you.